Hello everyone, welcome back to Idol Manager. Still stressed, a little depressed, but having taken a break from our lovely idol girls, we're back at it. Because I'm going to get scales up to the top. If it kills me. We're going to beat BTS. And we're going to beat Trills. I guess Trills is the first goal. BTS is like a stretch goal. But let's get into it. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Forgot about this banger background music. Right, what was I doing? What's my goal here? Oh, I can just continue the story. And I can give Fujimoto more money. Wow, you're really doing this. Well, alright then. You know this means I have to have you over for dinner, right? It's the best way I know of to say... It's the best way I know of to say thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you. Dinner's ready. Is chef friend gonna come over and make dinner for us again? No, as a matter of fact, this is all me. I can kinda tell. I know it might be hard to believe, but while you were out getting rich, I was here at home studying the blade. Well, I started with knife skills, but Kato taught me a lot of other things as well. I mean, he is probably Yakuza, so... Not too bad, huh? I thought I'd start on the dishes he trained me on. I figured I would have to have some way to feed myself once I cut the last of my more sordid and tawdry business affairs. And if you need to feed yourself, knowing your ways seems like a good insurance plan. Even if I couldn't find a kitchen to hire me, I can always cook for friends. Go ahead, take a bite. Oh, we're actually sitting like next to each other this time? We're not at opposite ends of a giant fucking table? Wow, I can actually hear you this time. You take a bite. It's a bit saltier than you used to, and the texture's a bit watery. But the flavor isn't bad. Damn, how much fucking salt did you put in that it's watery and salty? Keep at it, champ. I intend to. Still, this is leagues better than what I came up with the first time I stepped in a kitchen. I mean, rich people, am I right? I knew I wouldn't be able to offer anything up to the high bar set by a chef like Kato, but I thought this would be a bit more special. It's hard to explain, but there are certain things that you can't judge on raw quality, you know? Sort of like karaoke. If you want to listen to people sing, there are probably singers more talented than the people you get drunk and go to the karaoke bar with. But you don't necessarily want to hear the best singers, you want to hear your friends. If their singing is terrible, all the better, because you can make fun of them the entire time. Bully them. But it's okay, they're your friends. Because you know that someone with a terrible singing voice only ever shares it with their best friends. Maybe that's not necessarily true of the kitchen, but I figured it was worth finding out. If the food's disappointing, well, that's why I brought out the good whiskey. It'll mask the taste. And you'll be too drunk to realize that it's actually not that good. This might be the last bottle of really expensive whiskey that I pour for a while. I'm not the sort of person to spend money on the finest of spirits, but when people want to get on your good side, well, let's just say that a 500,000 wire transfer has the potential to look a lot like a bribe, while a bottle of really fine whiskey is the sort of thing that officials are more likely to overlook. Easier to avoid the tax man getting a cut. I'm getting out of the business of taking and receiving the sort of things that are commonly used to grease palms. Of course, getting on bureaucrats' good side in order to get what you want from them is still something I'm not above. But I plan to do it in a way that doesn't have the risk of attracting attention from the police. You talk a lot about your past. I guess I like alluding to enough things so that people who get into business with me know what sort of business they're getting into. While keeping the details vague enough that they could honestly say they didn't know anything about it if anyone ever came asking. But I guess we're past the point where I can just vaguely gesture at things and expect you to infer the details for yourself. Well, let's just say that it involved the world's oldest profession. Idol managing. Officially, I ran a hostess club. The kind that operates out of the red light district. Oh, like, basically the same thing. You manage talents. You know, usually female. And then there's creeps. Same shit, really, right? And that's the kind of place where you tend to see a lot of customers who are willing to pay for intimacy. And a lot of workers who are willing to offer certain kinds of intimacy for the right payment. Sorry. You'll have to forgive me if I speak in innuendo rather than saying everything outright. This game isn't rated R, so we can't be talking explicitly here. At this point, innuendo is the language I'm most fluent in. Yeah, you share that trait with, fucking high school boys. I've spent so much time communicating things by implication and winks and nods that I sometimes forget how to say it outright. Transactions of the sort I allude to will always happen, so why not try to create an environment where I can be sure everyone participating is fully willing to keep things safe? I mean, like, good intentions pave the road to hell, right? You make it sound so noble. I admit I do probably sound a bit like a scoundrel, trying to rationalize his behavior. After all, I was profiting from all this, and I probably wouldn't have done this. I probably wouldn't have done it if it wasn't making money. I tried to make sure that I was doing things the right way, the things that they ought to be. I tried to make sure that I was doing things the right way, the things that the things that ought to be done if they were going to happen at all. I'm confused by that sentence. No taking advantage of people who are desperate for money and willing to compromise themselves to do it. I didn't ever want someone to feel like they were coaxed into the profession by need, so I decided my solution would be to act as a sort of financier on the side. If I ran into someone who thought that accompanying patrons to hotels was a good way to make a living, I'd facilitate that transaction. If someone just needed a source of income, I'd try to get them on someone's payroll, sometimes by asking a client who owed me a favor or two. If I ran into someone who was just desperate for some quick cash, I'd offer them a loan with good terms. That was the idea, starting out. I admit I did fancy myself a bit of a paragon, at least as much of a paragon as you can be while running that sort of business on the side. My biggest problem was getting into the finance game before I really knew what I was doing. Yeah, me trying to figure out how stocks work, basically. There's a reason that most banks tend to be so big. Being a lender is easier when you're also a stock trader. I'm not sure if you want me to fill you in on all the boring details of the world of finance. Oh, please. Yeah, tell me. Well, the long and short of it is that when you lend people money, the biggest liability is when they can't pay back the money. And an economic recession is the time when most people are going to struggle to pay back their loans and miss payments. Investment banks, however, tend to do very well during recessions. When stock prices are falling, it's usually a liquidity crisis of one sort or another. Trading volume goes up because people are desperate for liquidity, and investment bankers are in a business of selling liquidity, which comes at a high price during a recession. Ah, yes. Classic, take advantage of the desperate. So the two sides of the business complement each other. If all of your borrowers are defaulting on their loans, it's probably because something's wrong with the economy. And when something's wrong with the economy, that's when the investment bankers make the most money. The part that mattered for me was that I had no way to collect on a lot of loans I made when the economy took a bit of a bad turn. I didn't know how to secure myself against risk, and I found myself in a bit of a crunch. So I ended up having to take out loans of my own from people who were involved in things a good deal more criminal than I was comfortable with. Not exactly your noble thief types, or even your noble pimp types. That's the part of my story where I really don't want to get too much into specifics. I managed to dig my way out without having to get my hands too dirty. I broke the law more often than I compromised my own morals. But there's one thing I'll never forgive myself for. One of the women who worked at the hostess club I ran took it upon herself to help me out of my little financial rut. She figured that if she was willing to talk to the folks who had lent me money, she could earn me a bit of leniency. You know how I said earlier that I never wanted anyone to become involved with doing certain kinds of things for money if they were desperate for money? Well, I think I was able to fulfill that promise for the most part. But she was someone that I failed. She most definitely ended up being coerced into things she wasn't comfortable with. And she did it to help me escape from bad loans that were the result of my own stupidity. She tried to hide it from me, but it became clear what was going on when I discovered that she was pregnant and had no idea who the father was. Oh no. Poor lady. I knew there was nothing I could ever do to make things right after the way I let her down, but I swore that I would at least make sure that her child would be insulated from the worst parts of this world. That was quite some time ago. Looking back on how he turned out, I'm not sure I upheld my part of the bargain. But it certainly wasn't for lack of trying. I mean, is he like a psycho? As long as he's not like a psycho, I think you're probably good, right? What happened to the child? Sure. He was running an idol group called Drills? Last I heard? Hello? He is a psycho. Son of a bitch. Fuck. Sorry, dude. I think you fucked this one up. Shit. Every time I look at... It snuck up on me again. It's been a while. Every time I look at Bakugou, it's hard for me not to feel reminded of how I let his mother down. I hope I didn't let Bakugou down. Bakugou is fiercely independent. Yeah, he sure is. So anything I tried to do for him at this point might just be assuaging my own conscience. But I still feel like an obligation to look... But I still feel an obligation to look out for him. I know that you're rivals now, but don't let him fall too hard, okay? I'm not his fucking babysitter. What do I look like? I'm his rival. I'll look out for Mr. Sasuke. I think Mr. Sasuke didn't have it too bad. Growing up not knowing who your father is can't be easy, but at least he had a loving mother and a sugar daddy. Like, literally daddy in this sense, like... that's one of the most important things a child can have, right? At least that's what I'd like to tell myself. After all that Mr. Sasuke's mother did to try and help me, the least I could do is try to make sure that she had the life she deserved. In the end, I'm not sure that making sure she had enough money to not have to worry about putting food on the table or making rent payments was enough. I've spent more than a decade doing everything I could to make things right. Look out for your friends, Miss Lee. That's all you really have in this world. I hope that's a lesson you're able to learn without too much heartache. I'm trying. After several quiet moments, and several very awkward moments, now that I know that my rival, this psycho, is a result of this guy's... of my investors... like, former workers' mistake? Rather, it's his mistake, right? Like, she was trying to help him out. But, like, that's like a light novel title. Like, oh, my rival is my boss's... Or rather, my... Yeah, he's not my boss, technically, but, like... Like, my investor's... My investor is my rival sugar daddy. After several quiet moments, the conversation moves onto lighter topics, and the next hour passes as quickly as jokes are told and drinks are poured. You know, I wanted to talk business tonight, but now doesn't seem like the time for that. I'll come to your office tomorrow to talk about it. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do the main story, yeah?
You've heard about this new Phantasm Facade group, right?
You mean the Masked Idol Trio?
Yeah. I was wondering, do you happen to know anything about who might be behind this? I assumed it was a spin-off of an existing group because the choreography in the video is, well, it's not the kind of thing that you can handle unless you're a real veteran. And the music video actually made a really big point of having long takes between cuts, almost as if they were trying to flaunt the fact that they weren't using editing to cover up any mistakes. Well, either that or they did a lot of takes to get it as perfectly as they did.
I don't know anything about them.
Really? Well, that's disappointing. I thought you might have heard something through the grapevine. I chatted about this with Yucatan earlier this morning. Apparently she's been obsessed with trying to pin down the origin of this group. It's a bit of a, pet project for her.
You know what? As long as she's getting her work done, I don't fucking mind.
I can tell her that you're interested in learning what she discovers. Anyway, catch you later. If you happen to catch wind of who did the choreography for that music video, let me know. Hit a bitch up. Oh, and the idols too. Seems pretty clear that someone hired some professional dancers. I'm curious as to whether they happen to spot that talent.
Interesting. Let's see. Oh, I never did figure out who the fuck is bullying. I still need to figure out who's bullying Ayuka. Because she got fucking depressed. Gossip. I don't care who's dating who. I don't care who has a boyfriend. Yeah, I know she's losing mental stamina from bullying. I need her to stop getting bullied. By which I mean I need to fucking tell the bully to fuck off. God damn it. I don't care. I need to know who's bullying who. I don't care. Okay. Nice, okay. What was my goal? I need a funk single. How about Brightest Cavern? It's not the darkest dungeon, it's the brightest cavern. Let's just progress the story, yeah? Oh, no. Not yet. Okay, so that's a branch. Let's continue the story. Hey, I hope you don't mind, but lately I've been looking into this Phantasm Facade group that debuted recently. I'm glad you're looking into this. I heard from Miss Annie I heard from Miss Annie that it sounded like you were interested in this topic, so I figured it would be worth my time to investigate. I've tried to learn about the group, but the more I dig, the more mysterious it seems. Usually a group like this would be a subsidiary of some existing entertainment company, but I looked into who owns the trademark for Phantasm Facade, and it traced back to a shell company named Vale Holdings. Someone went out of their way to make it hard to figure out who's behind this group. I know that's kind of the point. All of the idols were masks, and they don't really have distinct identities per se. Even the name implies they're hiding behind a mask. But whoever put this together is doing a really thorough job. Suffice to say, my search seems to have met a dead end. I'm sure the information is out there, but I have no idea who I'd talk to in order to find it. Sus. I need to know who's bullying the new girl. Oh, nice. Oh, come on. Come on. I need to know who's fucking bullying people. Gossip. Okay, here we go. A lot of grief from Mizuno Yuki and her friends. Gotcha. So Mizuno Yuki. You! Oh my god. The one that I've been pampering this entire time. Son of a bitch. That fucking bitch. How fucking dare you? Come on, hurry up. Finish your fucking styling. Son of a bitch. Even when she's on hiatus, the fucking bullying continues. What the hell, man? Come on. I need you to be as pretty as possible before I cave your face in. You fucking bitch. Look, she can't recover at all. Because you keep fucking bullying her. Bitch. Actually, what's my fucking influence with her? Do I have enough? Yeah, I do. Oh, you're so close. Come on. Okay. You. Come into my fucking office. Immediately. Oi. Stop it. Stop fucking bullying. Yeah, you better. Bitch. And then let's do the story, huh? Phantasm Facade has released a music video for their new single, Sour Milk. Sour Milk. Sour Milk. Interesting. In this video, there are several close-up shots that show just the bottom halves of the idols' faces. It feels reminiscent of that one miserable musical about France that had close-up shots of all the actors singing to show that they were singing live. I wonder what musical it was. It was certainly miserable. I'm sure it was so miserable. But, you know, I think it might be less miserable than maybe some other musical about miserable French people or whatever. However, the rest of the idols' faces are obscured or not visible in the shot, making it impossible to tell who they are. Whoever put together Phantasm Facade apparently managed to find singing and dancing talent in the same package. Interesting. Okay, omoi. Okay, 500 easy. Cute is maxed. Okay, what else? How about feast? Feast together. Yeah. Let's max out drama, because I'm a dramatic bitch. Omoi has hit the top of the charts, and Trills is slacking, honestly. You love to see it. Oh, can we do another world tour? We can. Let's see. Pilipinas. South Korea, maybe? And then a little bit Aussie. A little bit Aussie. Yeah? Let's launch this. Okay. That's fine. Because it's an internet show, right? Fuck, I didn't release a single last fucking... Sprunkly. Okay. Easily. Let's do... Cookie... Yummy. Cookie Yummy. A design released for TV drama Odayuri's cast in. A photo of Odayuri used in the poster was heavily doctored, has a really goofy looking mistake. Her arms look absurdly long, and her eye is kind of fucked. Joke about it? Really? For the win. She looks goofy as hell. I mean, yeah. Let's fire you. Ogi no aya, teru aya ka. You're maxed. Yeah, I can do that. I can do one from you and one from you. And then let's hire a new staffer, huh? Just someone, just random someone. I don't need anyone special for this room. You're literally on research duty. There's story, right? There is. Hey, did you watch the new Phantasm Facade video?
Yeah, what about it? Doesn't one of the girls in that video look familiar? What, you think you know one of them? Yeah, one of them, I forgot which one, but she's the center in the new video. It's hard to see through the mask, but the way she moves and her height and a bunch of other little things about her, it just feels all so familiar. Well, you do watch a lot of idol dancing videos, right? You're bound to see some similarities over time. It's probably a coincidence. No, it's not like that. It's like, I almost feel like I've met that girl in person. Just can't place her. Huh. Well, if you ever figure out who she is, let me know. That could be a big story. I could sell that to Naya and make so much money. You know, money that the company doesn't get a cut of, you know?
28th. Happy 28th. Oh my god, 30-year-old idols. I'd love to see it. Story.
Hey, do you think Phantasm Facade will ever do a face reveal? That's gotta be what they're building up to, right? They're already in the talk of the town. Imagine how much more they'll blow up once everyone knows who they are. I don't know, isn't the mystique their entire appeal? If you gave them faces and names, I feel like it would kill people's interests. Nah, people get bored with this over time. The novelty's gonna wear off eventually. I'm not sure when you're expecting their popularity to start declining, because it seems like they've only gotten more popular since their debut. What? Oh, the banger music stopped. Why is it the default music now? What the hell? Well, let's launch the world tour. Wait, 3 stars in the Philippines. And then South Korea, 3 stars. Australia, 3 stars, baby. You know it. Oh, okay. Scrunkly. Top of the charts, baby. Wee. Brightest Cavern, you better hit the top of the charts. Okay, 500,000. That's safe, I think. I think that's a safe number. Let's do a new single. How about Arrhythmia? Which is just a game, but Arrhythmia... Dentist. Oh no. Logan Paul. Fuck. This is such a cop-out. You don't fucking do this. You gotta apologize. Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. That is the opposite of what you should do, actually. Fuck, I have so many scandal points. You. Background check, basic. Manami. Oh, wait. Nice, finally. Promotion maxed. I guess I should plan a concert. Can we do... We can do Tokyo Coliseum. Let's fucking go. 69. Oh, that's perfect. Baby, it's perfect. That seems good enough to me. Nice. Okay. I did it. Top the charts with a funk single. Boom. Hey. Oh god, there's double music. Hey, thanks for the chance to interview Sakamoto Ayuka. I think it really made my story about funk come together. Well, I'd really like the opportunity to do some real gonzo journalism. Like, what would it be like to travel with a group that tours internationally? I've always wanted to visit France, and Italy, and America. Sounds like you just want a vacation. Guilty as charged. But if I make a story about it, then it means all of my travel expenses become business expenses. Much better for accounting if I can make it a work trip, don't you think? And besides, it would be a fun story. I could do daily vlogs with girls on the airplane, that sort of thing. No pressure or anything, this could happen, you know, whenever. I know you're not about to announce a big tour just so that I can see the Eiffel Tower, but hey, when you do, give me a call, alright?
Okay. USA, France, and Italy. Gotcha. Can you give this to the right girl, motherfucker? We piece together. Can we hit 550? We can very easily. Nice. How about instead of that, we could do cryptid dance. I need 3 Unka singles in 1 month, so let's like plan that, right? Kira wants an Unka single. You know, this is a trilogy, so we could do Trills, Sucks, Ass. Hey, get out of here. Yeah. Happy 17th. Oh, fuck. What? That's disgusting. That's disgusting and vile. Okay. 600k? Easy. Let's do another floor with a break room and a doctor's office, and then a dressing room, maybe. And then let's do a doctor's office. Let's hire like an expert doctor, right? That focuses on physical health. Producer. New Emperor scene in train excites gaggle of girls. Netizens, one of the faces in the crowd. Reactions are split. Delusional fan. Princess syndrome. I mean, is it? Is it her? That's fine. I can deal with that. Supporting, yeah, right, her expression. Patriotic. At least she's not a gold digger. What? No. Arrhythmia dentist. A hit sensation. Oh dear, in an episode of the historical period drama Bears on a Plane, Serika has been seen wearing an anachronistic label poking out of her hat. Joke about it. Not that serious. Have some levity. Glad she was cool with it. Yeah, it's like a Game of Thrones situation, you know? Like, people will meme it, but they'll forget about it. Super cute bunny outfit from a few years ago. Bring back the bunny. Ignore it. Yeah, can't always get what you want. Boomer. Not looking very cool either. It's fine. I gained fans from this, technically, so... No bunny, no money. F you. People are crazy. Is it time for a world tour yet? Oh, I can launch this concert. Come on. 9 action cards. This is like guaranteed. Let's move me here. Alright, next song. Okay. Wee. Okay. Oh. Wee. Ooh. E. No. Okay. Gotcha. Nice. Whoa, that was the end. I had more cards that I could do anything with.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's check. Who wants to rank where? Okay. Sakamoto Ayaka. Ogino Aina wants to rank 8th. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Kawamura Kira. Okay. Okay, 8th is gonna be Ogino Aina. Ogino Aina. There you are. What are they? Well, like, why are they blurry? Yeah, Ogino Aina. Okay. Shibata Yuria. Shibata Yuria. You can be here. Ayuka, you can be here. Isuno Yuki can be here. You can have this one. 4th place. Sorry about that. Momoka, you can have this. Oof. Serika, you can have 2nd, I guess. Jesus. And then... Fuck it, Miona, you can have 1st. I know. Fucking Meow and Candy, bro. Cryptid Dance. Oh, fuck. We didn't even get close, bruh. Did I lose money on this one? We could do Factorial. Is World Tour ready? It is! Where did she want to go? France, Italy, US. Wait. Nope, nope, nope. Stay longer. Yeah, sure, I owe you. Wait.
Hey, do you have a moment to talk about something related to the latest single? I just got done recording the vocals for Factorial. The message is kind of political, don't you think? Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I get that, and I appreciate being chosen as center for a new single. It's just I don't want my image to be, to become too associated with politics. The lyrics of Factorial are politically themed, but they're vague enough that they don't really seem to be commenting on anything too controversial. But at the same time, it's kind of skirting the edge of the territory that might be uncomfortable to some people. Politics can be polarizing. And even if you try to avoid being polarizing, that can be a problem too. Some people think that if you're not explicitly announcing to the world that you're on their side, then you must be against them. Yana kanji. I just don't want to be put in a position where people think it's okay to start asking me for my political position on certain things. Like, what happens if I get interviewed and then get a question about the issues alluded to in a political song? Either I take a position and risk alienating people, or I feign ignorance and look like a foolish girl who doesn't know anything about the world. It's a lose-lose situation. I know some girls would actually like that kind of opportunity, but that's not why I became an idol. And I think the best way for me to avoid that situation is to avoid being the center of attention whenever Scales does something politically themed. Duly noted. Thanks. I would honestly prefer it if Scales didn't do any political theme song in the future, but if you do write a politically themed single, just try not to involve me too much.
I'll happily be a center for any non-political singles, of course. Sure. I'll keep it in mind. Hey, Naya, you having fun, bitch? You having fun in your business expenses trip? Wow, that's a lot of fucking revenue. On the plane ride home, you happen to have a seat next to Naya. I'm pooped. I was planning to record an hour-long video on the plane ride back, but I don't really have to be on for the camera, you know? Oh, I really don't want to have to be on for the camera, you know? Time to let my hair down, so to speak. Your hair's too short. Or, well, maybe literally. But sad news, you don't get to be part of my final vlog. That's a relief. So you're saying you wouldn't want to be part of my final vlog? No, you're insane. Is that the kind of comments I get from you when the cameras aren't rolling? But hey, I guess we're seatmates, so if you need to pass gas, please go outside into the aisle to do it. Aya pulls out her phone and begins flipping through a notes file, but doesn't really seem to be paying attention to what's on the screen. She seems bored. She looks up at you as if expecting you to entertain her. Why are you the way that you are? I guess from a young age, I've always wanted attention. The problem was that I was never any good at any of the things that people usually do to get attention. If I'd had a talent for dancing, or singing, or acting, I could have done something like that. I wanted to be a performer, but I had no performance. How are you supposed to get people to pay attention to you when you have nothing to offer them? But around the time that I turned 13 years old, something wonderful happened. I discovered the internet. Is that a wonderful thing? A platform full of people that I could perform for. I mean, yeah. Mood. Same bitch. People whose attention I could try to win. People who could love me, or hate me, or be annoyed by me. But whatever their reaction was, when I posted things online, people paid attention to me. I showed up everywhere. Message boards, comment sections, social media. I was online all the time, terminally. Always looking for ways to get clicks, views, follows. It was like a drug for my teenage brain. After a childhood of not getting attention, suddenly I had all the attention I wanted and more. When I was little, I always thought that television and movies and music and all the other forms of media were for people who were at the top of their fields. You had to be a good actor to star in movies. You had to be a good singer to be on a record. So many things required talent. You had to be the best. An ultimate, if you will. But when it came to news, you didn't have to be the best. You just had to be the first. Anytime an event happened, I was online, ready to be the first to have a story about it. And at the top of every story there would be my byline, letting everyone know that I was first. The real breakthrough came when I realized that you didn't even have to have an event to come up with a story. Anytime a celebrity posted something, I would find a way to turn it into a post. Matsumoto Mako would post, "Have a great cup of coffee to start the morning," and I'd write a post about their morning routine. And eventually, if people, clicked on that one a lot, I would start posting, "Oh, Matsumoto Mako and their caffeine addiction. Is this the end of Matsumoto Mako's career?" Sometimes someone would have an opinion about a movie. I'd figure out how to get 500 words out of it. Anything could be content. It was like spinning straw into gold. Your stories were gold? Hey, I was getting paid 1,000 yen per 500-word article as a 15-year-old. That's more than some authors get paid for award-winning short stories. And if you can crank out 10 of those per day, you're making more money than you would getting a job at a convenience store or whatever. Really, the money didn't have much to do with it. I was in it for the rush. Posting stories, getting people talking about you, watching the numbers go up, more views, more comments, more shares. It was like a limitless supply of dopamine. You weren't doing listicles when I met you.
You're right. I started by doing content, but I realized that what I was doing needed to have real purpose. Over time, I realized that the content based on people's comments were empty calories. No, the real story was what people weren't willing to post online. So I, the girl who had spent most of her waking life online since age 13, realized I had to get away from the keyboard. Touch grass a little bit, you know? Go to events and see what I could catch people saying in an unguarded moment. It felt so much more real. That's the kind of thing that can actually change minds. If you post about what a celebrity's favorite coffee is, you haven't done anything to leave your mark on the world, not really. But if you could find something about a celebrity that everybody loved and make them hate that person instead, that was actually making an impact. It's the kind of thing that people can't ignore.
You want to sow hatred?
Not necessarily. All you need to do is get people to change their mind about something. It just so happens that it's way easier to get people to hate things. But it's harder to take something that someone hates and make them love it instead, you know? All that matters in this world is what people think of you. All of the goodness in your heart won't matter if people think you're evil. And some of the most black-hearted people in the world have stellar reputations thanks to the efforts of their PR teams. So, I decided to pursue what would let me control the one thing that really matters. I think that's why I was so drawn to the idol world. You and I are the same in a lot of ways.
Not really.
Aren't we, though? After all, you manage talent. You know how important good PR is. What matters is what the fans think. Objectively good music doesn't exist. What matters is how many people are willing to listen. If crap sells, then you sell crap. That's exactly like my motto. What matters is what the public believes. And the only real power you can have is the power to shape public opinion. If you can convince people that your music is worth listening to, or your tickets are worth buying, that matters more than any objective measure of talent. Anyway, we've reached the part of the flight where I can put on my face mask and try to get a few hours of sleep so that I don't feel too jet-lagged when we touch down. It was good having a chance to talk to you. We should do this on the record sometime.
You are one crazy bitch. Oof. Hey, that's something. I'll take it.
So, you're looking for a way to become part of my next big story, right? Well, I'd really like to do a story about what it's like to manage a group with 1,700,000 fans. That's a good number, don't you think? So maybe you come to me when you hit that threshold.
Sure, I guess. One of my idols started dating. Good for you, good for you. Let's do a new single, because all of those first three are gonna be at the same time. Cult? No. Religion of the Ram. Oops. Okay, Trills. Sucks. Ass. Okay, nice. And then let's do another one, like, how about Bubble is me? Oh. I thought you just didn't want to center them. Oops. No one else can match your talents? Fuck. Sorry. That's fine. That's fine. That's my fuck up. I read it wrong. Midday, you receive a message from Naya. If you're free to meet today, I plan on being
at this cafe from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you don't have lunch plans, maybe stop by. Pay Aya a visit, I guess. Yeesh. You arrive at the meeting place Aya mentioned. Hey, you decided to show up. Nice to see you. Likewise, I was honestly wondering whether you'd show up. I'm told that the most important conversations often happen at the times that aren't scheduled. After all, some sources are only willing to divulge information to reporters that they trust personally. And it's hard for trust to build when the relationship is strictly transactional. There are a lot of people who argue that it's a breach of journalistic ethics for reporters to form friendships with the people that they report on. But there are certain kinds of information that they would only really divulge when you're talking to a friend over drinks. So when I said I just wanted to chat over lunch, I meant it. I really do want to have a chat over lunch. Ignore the pen in my hand and the notebook in front of me. What's for lunch? Chicken confit with pomme Anna on the side. French? I hope that's what you were in the mood for. I don't even know what that is. Aya waves at a worker behind the counter who gives her a knowing nod in return, places a plate of food in front of you. Thank you, Ma-chan. Ma-chan bows and leaves you to your lunch. Just so you know, they don't normally do table service, but I'm a little special because I'm insane. I think Ma-chan just likes me. This isn't an ordinary cafe. Oh, to be sure, they do serve up various French confections in a way that's exactly as charming and delicious as you'd hope from a place like this. But the truth is that the owner didn't start this cafe to serve croissants. This cafe is attached to the culinary school that's next door. Their business is taking students and training them in how to make French cuisine. As you might imagine, as a cooking school, the students learn by preparing dishes. And when they're done, the school is suddenly left with a large number of prepared meals. That is why we are eating chicken confit. We are eating the byproduct of today's cooking lesson. It's really quite brilliant, don't you think? We get meals made with high-quality ingredients for an incredibly reasonable price. With this cafe, the culinary school is able to take the byproduct of their teaching and monetize it. That's what I like about this place. It's an unconventional business model. And in a lot of ways, it reminds me of you. How so? In what way? I just said it, didn't I? They found a way to turn the byproduct of their business and find a way to turn it into a source of profit. That's the business model in which Scales operates, like so many other idol groups in Japan. Japan obviously isn't the only country to have pop stars. In many countries, some of the biggest celebrities are pop music singers. Most of them are, actually. Like, they're either singers or they're actors. But people are generally only interested in the finished product. Entertainment companies will spend years training a few talented individuals to become idols. The only ones that survive are the best-looking, most charismatic ones who have undergone the process of training to have impeccable performances on stage. They're always striving for perfection. You'd think that, for a talent farm, the process of taking inexperienced performers and training them up would be an investment that might not pay off until later down the line. But idol groups like yours have made that process part of the product that you're selling. Groups will publicize that they're having tryout events, and people will pick an idol and follow her over the course of her entire career. The process of training idols used to be part of the costs of doing business. Now it's part of the appeal. People like the ability to see young idols as they rise up and become more skilled. And if the idols aren't amongst the most elite in their particular field, that just makes them more relatable. The fact that a fan, for the cost of a CD, can shake hands with an idol from a group like Scales, or get a photograph taken with them at a two-shot event, is incredible when you consider that there are some musical acts who charge thousands of dollars for a meet and greet. The truth is, despite the term idol, organizations like Scales are popular largely because of how accessible they make the talent. Again, it's not so different from this little cafe. True, the food here is a cut above your usual lunch fare, but it's not exactly fine dining.
Oh, I'm dying.
But it's probably the best place you can find within walking distance of the train station for less than 1,000 yen. The accessibility is a big part of it. I like that. It's unpretentious. It's where art meets the cold reality of business. I'm sure that each of the students that attends the culinary school next door believes that they're creating something great, something that is a grand showcase of their abilities. And it's true. The meal that they're constructing is designed to be a test of their culinary abilities. But at the end of the day, they are creating a product that will probably be consumed by an office worker on their lunch break and not be given more than a few minutes' thought. What side of that do you identify more with, Miss Lee? Are you creating a product with scales, or are you trying to achieve something artistic? Hmm. Hmm. I mean, truthfully, I'm not sure. But, you know what? Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel the same ambivalence. I've asked the same thing of my own career. When I'm writing a story, am I just creating content for people to consume? Or am I creating something worthwhile, something that has artistic merit? Along the way, I've seized onto attention wherever I can. And I think that I too am like this cafe. It takes the byproduct of students' learning and turns it into revenue. In my pursuit of more experience and exposure, I'm also finding ways to make money along the way. It makes me feel that I'm doing both a job for short-term money as well as building up a career. The hustle, baby. But what kind of career am I building? If I make a name for myself by always being on top of the latest story and having the latest scoop, does that mean that my entire career is going to be chasing scoops? Hey, Miss Lee, here's a question. Right now, you're getting paid to work on scales. If you were so rich that you never had to worry about money anymore, would you still be doing the same thing you're doing right now? Considering how much fucking money I have, it won't make a difference. That means you're running scales according to your own personal values, doesn't it? That seems like the ultimate goal. You seem to have found it. Well, I need to be going soon. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Or at the very least, I hope you enjoyed the chicken. It's on me. This is, I think, her other, psycho expression. She's scary. You scare me, ma'am. Oh, right. I released my Trill Sucks Ass trilogy, so 3 Unka singles. Well, it seems you're the king of Unka. The queen, actually, but go off, bitch. Has this helped you in any way? Yes, though the ways in which it benefits me probably won't be immediately evident to you. Perhaps one day I'll reveal everything that I'm working on. Until then, you need only concern yourself with the terms of our agreement.
Thank you.
Since you fulfilled my request, which I'm aware was a hefty one, I suppose I should give you something in exchange. I get a lot of incoming business proposals, and going forward, I could send some of the bigger ones your way. I also have agreements with a number of venues where I've locked in lower than normal prices. I could, in a manner of speaking, sublet some of those venues to you, so you could get a somewhat reduced price as well. Or I could make a habit of using Trills' resources to promote your shows. I know some of our followers are the people who are bored enough to check out anything that makes its way into their feed. Which of those options sounds most appealing to you? More money, I don't need, I don't think. Events become cheaper, I also don't need. And more viewers for shows? I mean, I don't use the shows that often is the thing. I feel like none of these are good. I feel like the Fujimoto options were, way better.
I guess more viewers. You've got it. Say, I'm not in need of any other favors at the moment, but I'll be sure to hunt you down when something comes up. Why are we buddy-buddy? Watch all of the Phantasm Facade events. I did that.
Yo.
Hey, just wanted to check in on you and see how you're doing. It's good. Good is good, but great is great. Hopefully you're not settling, sir. I have so much fucking money. You know, regardless of how that whole Nation of Idols thing went down, I think you made out pretty well, all things considered. Honestly, completely forgot about that show. Apparently the drama with Mr. Sasuke was the beginning of the end for them, because after all of that hullabaloo, their ratings really dropped off a cliff. Maybe that's why Mr. Sasuke seems to have all but disappeared from the public eye. Sasuke Bakugou is still officially running Trills, but it's been a while since they've tried pulling a public stunt. That's pretty uncharacteristic. I would have at least expected Trills to get a boost, but if anything, it seems like they've stagnated as a group and might even be losing fans. Maybe he's planning something big. You're saying that Mr. Sasuke has a plan so big that they're taking months to plan everything before springing into action? Yeah, sounds like him. Wonder what kind of stunt could be so big that it would require that much preparation. You know, the last time I talked to Mr. Sasuke, he mentioned something about wanting to create the ultimate idol. Maybe he's on a massive talent scouting mission, or something like that. I guess if you were spending all of your time looking for the ultimate talent, it would reduce the amount of time you have to maintain your existing stable of talent. I hope I get a chance to find out soon. Interesting. Wow. There it is. Trills sucks ass. I was really hoping they would clinch all of the top three, but I'll take what I can get. I'm a little annoyed that one of our top songs is named after Trills now. Let's go. As you're about to leave the office for the day, a message comes in from Sasuke Bakugou. There's an event I'd like you to come to. 10 o'clock tonight. Wear something nice. Are you flirting with me, sir? Sir? Sasuke Bakugou meets you at the entrance of the event hall. Hey, you cleaned up nicely. That's good. I would hate for my +1 to embarrass me. Oh, yeah, no. He's just an asshole. What kind of party is this? It's a Pony Records party. Keep your eyes out. You might see some bigwigs walking around. This is an entirely different side of the entertainment business, Miss Lee. You know there's more to the music industry than just idol groups, right? Most of the people who turn out to events like this probably look down on people like us. Why are we here? To see what we can overhear. I need to keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening in the industry. The conversations you overhear in an event like this aren't the kind of thing you can read about in the tabloids. Ah, Mr. Sasuke, Miss Lee, fancy seeing you here. What have you been up to lately? I've been waiting with bated breath to see what your next daring exploit would be, Mr. Sasuke. Don't tell me that you intend to disappoint the world. Can you smell what I'm cooking? If not, that's on you, not me. I suppose we'll see. You never struck me as the type of artist who would blame the audience for something being received poorly, though. You're not nearly highbrow enough to be making those sorts of accusations. I never expected you to praise me for being so down to earth. Thank you. Is this like flirting? Is this what flirting between weirdos in the industry is like? Oh, you're certainly the kind who will stay down to earth, even when attempting a moonshot. Yes, it's an engineering marvel. Oh, sorry, hold on. Yes, it's an engineering marvel. What was the angry? I'm so glad someone appreciates my genius. Tanaka Yasunori shakes his head. Before walking off, he turns to you. Miss Lee, good to see you here. Don't let this one pull a fast one on you. He's like a little insane. I hear he's the type who's liable to pull the rug out from under you when you're in the middle of signing a contract. If you're about to put your signature on a piece of paper, look both ways, down at the contract and behind you to make sure that Bakugou isn't sneaking up. Why do you talk to him like that? You surely remember how things went with me and Nation of Idols? Evidently, Mr. Tanaka resents the way I handled things. I think everyone would, sir. Mr. Tanaka and I never really got along, though. It's like I said before, people here look down on people like us. Even if Mr. Tanaka has worked with idol groups before, he feels like he's above us. He doesn't depend on the ecosystem of idol groups to maintain his livelihood. He could always work in a more mainstream capacity. Why do people see idols as lesser? Like, isn't that the whole deal with Oshinoko? Idol-sama? Is this supposed to be like a sexy CG? Idol groups are the symbol of a decadent society. I overheard those exact words from one of the people in this room once. I think that answers the question of why they look down on us. It's also why I happen to love idol groups. I love decadence, don't you? After all, think about what decadence means. A decadent society is one that is in decline. It is a society that has already hit its apex. A society that has run out of ways to improve itself and now looks for ways to fritter away its resources. That, I think, is where true beauty lies. Some people might look at something like a lake or a tree or an attractive person and call that beauty. But lakes and trees and attractive people all have functional uses. Lakes provide water. Trees provide shade and oxygen. And you can do all sorts of things with an attractive person. Perhaps even find a way to continue your genetic heritage with their help. Or, you know, if it's a same-sex situation, I'm down for that too. The point is that these are all things that you can never appreciate purely on an aesthetic level. They all have practical uses. It is only after a society has satisfied all of its material needs that it can begin the delightful slide into the sheer pleasure and joy of decadence. This dude. This fucking dude.
Yeah.
It is only in that state that society can truly experience pleasure for pleasure's sake only. When you see a beautiful person on the street or in your workplace, that's a person that you could conceivably talk to and start a relationship with. Moody! Jesus. But when you follow an idol and treat them as the object of your affection, nothing will ever come of it. That makes your love and affection for them more pure, don't you think? This dude's like literally insane. What the fuck? How did you come to this conclusion? It's the sugar daddy, money. Goddamn. Fujimoto, you fucked this guy up. When a fan loves an idol, they don't do it with selfish intent because they know that they will never win the idol's affection. It is adoration for adoration's sake. There is no practical goal corrupting that affection. Only a truly one-sided relationship can be pure in that way. This is the beauty of artifice, Miss Lee. The most beautiful things in the world can't come about naturally. They can't even be born of natural passions. They must be painstakingly created. Unfortunately, even artifice can be corrupted. A decadent society allows us to do things in a manner that someone would call wasteful, in a way that squanders precious resources. But an endeavor that is a pure waste must be something that is done purely for the love of it, no? I mean, not necessarily. Sometimes people waste resources just, like, out of boredom. You know? It's not... like, this dude is so weird. He thinks so weird. You see signs of decadence at parties like this. The most opulent of hors d'oeuvres... hors d'oeuvres. What the fuck? Hors d'oeuvres. Being fed to people who are too distracted by conversation to appreciate them. The finest of wines being consumed at the end of the night by people who are probably too drunk to appreciate the difference between fine wine and cheap stuff. It is indulgence for the sake of indulgence. Don't you love being rich? I mean, yeah, but like, does it always come with this whack-ass philosophy? But the danger comes when other things come and corrupts the purity of decadence, like poor people. Ugh. Suppose someone bought an expensive dinner, not to experience the pure pleasure of a 20,000 yen dinner. It's $200. But so that they could document their consumption and turn it into an entertainment product that they made money off of. That is the danger that all idol groups run into. It's something that I've slowly come to realize myself. This guy kind of has... I guess he's supposed to be like the foil to Naya. Because she's like, oh, you know, hustle culture. Don't you love it? Like... don't you love hustle culture? Like, oh, you know, I'm pursuing a passion project that I like to work on, and I'm also making some money off it too. It's like a win-win. And then this dude is like, how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you make money off of your art? Art is meant to be appreciated, not made money from. How fucking dare you? If we do what we do in the pursuit of money or fame or status, then we stray from decadence, for all of these are signs of trying to ascend by gathering resources, rather than descending by squandering resources. I speak from experience, because I grew up rich from my sugar daddy. Trills falls into these trappings. It will never be the totem of decadence that I want it to be. Are you giving up?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I'm more committed than ever. A project of this magnitude is difficult to complete on my own, so I ask this. Will you help me? Depends. Suppose you had an idol that had achieved perfection in one or more categories. Someone who was the absolute best at what they did, such that no further improvements were possible. And imagine that this idol was not only capable, but willing to serve your interests. To take that idol and not exploit them for profit and the advancement of scales, but instead to let them exercise their talents in a way that would earn no recognition or benefit to their image. That would be truly decadent, no? It might free them up to participate in other projects. Projects such as the one I now undertake. I do not expect an answer from you tonight. I say these things merely to plant the idea in your head. But please, do find me if you ever think that this is something you would like to pursue. I'll contact you about it in the future. If you ever find an idol who has achieved perfection in at least one of her attributes and is completely loyal to you for reasons of friendship, romance, or other means of persuasion, let me know. I mean, don't I have that? Yeah. Oh, God. I've had enough crazy for one day, though. So I think I'm going to be calling it there. So... Jesus Christ, the people in this game are fucking insane. The only not insane person is Fujimoto. If you told me at the beginning of this game that the 3 important side characters are the rich boy investor that used to deal in prostitution, the rival manager, and a reporter, and you told me that the rich boy investor that used to be part of prostitution, like, he's the least fucking crazy of the 3, I would be like, what are you talking about? Well, thank you all for watching. And I'll be back with more idol managers sooner or later. Bye-bye.